Hello, I am Vince Kadlubek from Santa Fe, New Mexico, founder of a group called Meow Wolf, founded in 2008, right when everything dropped out from beneath us. Meow Wolf, to put it like as simply as I can, is an open-door, collaborative, for-profit, DIY, interdisciplinary, open governance, yes-first, art and event production company. We focus on things like dance parties, music shows, brought Big Frida to Santa Fe, which was really nice. It was a lot of fun. A bunch of like hipster white kids in Santa Fe, like booty shaking, and she was awesome. She loved it. And we do theater, public performance, but the main thing that we focus on, like our main sort of medium, is also kind of wordy. Large scale, totally immersive, multimedia, interactive, maximalist art experiences. Not art installations, art experiences. And a key aspect of these art experiences these days is that they are financially sustainable. We won't do projects unless they're financially sustainable. I should say we won't do projects unless they're valuable, but value is starting to mean financially sustainable. We just spent like $8,000 of our own dollars to do a show in Chicago recently because the gallery was a cool gallery and it was Chicago and it was an opportunity to like get on like a larger platform, and we spent our own money doing that. There's value there, blah, blah. The beginnings of Meow Wolf, we basically self-financed, which I think a lot of people do. It's like a bunch of artists get together, they get into a room, they say, let's do this. And then like people start like sort of pulling out whatever money they have in their pocket to throw in the pot. And we basically just started creating stuff. These are the immersive projects that I was talking about. We would have like, and the open door aspect is that like anybody can come in at any time, no matter what. No resume, no background check. I mean, just come in and do if you want to do, and give us money if you want to give us money. There's no set membership fee, none of that, no application process. And so we would create these like immersive exhibits. This one's called Indoor Winter Activities. And people who know Santa Fe like large art market, really stodgy, boring, contemporary art, minimal, like. And our generation was sort of like, okay, let's do some cooler stuff. So we started creating this sort of just maximalist experiences, and it was going well. When it was project time, there was money. Artists would finance their own piece to these projects. These are collaborative. These are built by 20 artists maybe, and people would self-finance their own piece of the project. And it would be fine when there were projects. The problem was we were renting a building, and when there weren't projects, there wasn't money coming in. So oftentimes we would have people like the core group of Meow Wolf would have to start like paying for the space out of their own pocket, and we had like situations of like individuals paying like $700, of the $1,000 a month just to keep the space going, because it was their name on the lease, So this went off for a while. It's pretty successful. There was no revenue stream. There were like cardboard boxes that said, please donate, that maybe people saw and would like throw money in. And if we got like $100 at the end of the night, we would like literally roll around in it because we were so happy, and then spend it on beer the next day. This show's called Habitats. We turned our warehouse into like this weird shanty town. It didn't make music. Which now looking at the presentation from earlier, man, cool shit. And then I sort of like re-emerged into Meow Wolf in a stronger leadership role, and I was like, this is crazy. We need to drop the building. We had an opportunity to do a project at the Center for Contemporary Art. The building was costing us too much money. It wasn't bringing in enough money. We didn't have a revenue stream. We didn't fundraise. There was like none of that. And so we then started on a project that took a year to design, a year of designing with about 30 core people. It's called the Do Return. This was at the Center for Contemporary Arts. And we did the crowdsource funding, got about $10,000 through that. The community at this point like really liked us, so we really leveraged their love for us. We got some granting money from local local foundations. We threw a lot of dance parties and used that money towards the project. But our most valuable resource was, and I think everyone probably knows this, it's pretty obvious, was people. And we like people, when we started this project, The Due Return, we started pulling in everyone that we could. And we had to convince people, like, this is valuable for you. And we had to find why it was valuable, because they're volunteering, and they had to volunteer, and the project was going to be massive. So we had to give them, like, a piece of ownership that lit a fire in them. And started off with about 30, and over time it grew to about 40 and 50. And the closer we got to the project, it was like 100. And then like the day before, we had like 125, 150 people running around the space, like designing or like finishing up this project. Through the process of it, though, it was a year of this, all volunteer. People were working 12-hour days on our project, on their days off from their normal job. And this is a picture of Sean, who was sort of the main designer behind the main part of the project. People got wrecked. It wasn't sustainable. It was a terrible model. People were like so worn out, like depressed, suicidal. Like seriously, like our lives got fucked up by this project because it was like so much of our time. And by the end of it, we were like, is this even good? Like, are people gonna like this? Is this gonna matter at all? And like there was just so much doubt and like anxiety, and we were so freaked out by it that we realized like this is bad. This is a bad model. Money has to be involved. We have to pay people. Like we have to figure out how to pay people. So the project, The Due Return, what it turned out to be was this giant 70-foot long ship, 14 feet high, 2 stories, traversable within like a fictional environment of caves and these glowing trees. And over 100 artists worked on it. It had like a 70,000 word narrative behind it, like fictional narrative of like history of people who lived on this ship and the fictional environment that the ship landed in. There was like massive interactive elements, and basically, it took Santa Fe by storm. We got like 25,000 visitors in 3 months, and we were asking for donations at like $10 a piece, and we ended up making like $100,000 off that show. These are some of those numbers: 140 volunteers, nobody got paid. For it's a $40,000 budget, that's how much the whole thing cost to build. Of course, nobody got paid. That's all materials. It took us 10 months. So after that project, it was like, now we were on the map. And now we had access to other money that most artists that most artists operate off of, which is like people saying, hey, we want a show, let's give you some money to do a show. Or foundations saying like, oh, you built that ship? Cool, you can have some of our money. So this is a show down in Las Cruces called Glitteropolis that we did at a university gallery that gave us $10,000. Just barely got us by, got us like a stipend. I'm really just gonna show you a lot of pictures. Omega Mart was with a group of 1,000 students. We worked with 1,000 elementary school students to design fake products that would go into a fake grocery store. And then we opened this grocery store in Santa Fe in a strip mall. And we didn't tell the public that it was fake. We told the public we acted as if it was real. So we had like local Santa Feans walking in ready to shop and being met with a bunch of really bizarre items that were designed by children, So you have like cheese laxatives and like mayonnaise sunscreen, because when you're a kid, those two things are like the same. So it was, and it was a store. I mean, we operated, and what I liked about it too is like, we went into it thinking like, we need to make this financially like viable. So let's sell stuff. Let's have people like work the store, and they'll get paid a percentage of what we sell, and like it kind of worked. People bought these things. Music, and everything we do is multimedia. So there's sound, through all of this. So like, somebody made the soundtrack for Omega Mart. And there's videos, there's commercials. Here's one of our lovely Omega Mart, employees holding her deodorant that she made called Whale Song.